Listen, we need to talk. I'm worried about you. I feel like I'm losing you to a fantasy. This little dream of yours, it's becoming an obsession. And I have to tell you, you are setting yourself up for complete and total disappointment. Years of therapy, romantic indifference, inferiority complex, laziness. The truth is the truth, and you're gonna find out one way or another. It may as well be from me. You are not a princess.
We are live.
Action. Action. Remember your lines?
Now that we're live, I'm all nervous.
Yeah, you know, I totally forgot what we were going to talk about.
I'm all locked up now.
I'm off, I'm off.
It's just old-fashioned comedy.
You remember everything?
It's joy.
I don't remember.
This is like, is this supposed to be like a serious show or a comedy show? I don't even know.
We don't do comedy.
We're only
Yeah,
serious.
It's pretty much serious 24.
Well, that's good because I don't do serious, so.
Yeah, you're not a serious guy.
You're really a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a comedian.
Yeah. Clowning, right? You're into clowning?
I'm into clowning. I've been a clowner since I was, 3 years old is the earliest I can remember clowning, and then I remember one day I just got a video camera in my hands and I started goofing off, and I just went from there, and then, here we are years later, we have JoyCamp, and...
That's right.
Yeah. I've always just gotten really angry and yelled at people. that's my kind of thing.
That's your thing?
Yeah.
That's his thing, for sure.
I didn't have a comeback to that.
He gets really mean.
It's a Scorpio thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know Scorpio,
I can't help it.
so I
It's
I can contest that. Yeah.
I know Scorpio.
Well, it's
very
my
well.
ascending and my, it's a lot. It's a lot of.
A lot of information.
There's a moon involved and some houses. But
I
anyway, that's why I yell at people.
I lost you.
So what is this?
Yeah, what is that?
Oh,
Yeah, well,
some things I want to remember.
yeah.
Is that what that is? Where? There's nothing on here.
All right, that's this one.
Yeah.
Still working on this
Wait, I
one.
thought you had handwritten notes somewhere.
Oh, they're on this one.
So
Oh.
you fell asleep like halfway through when you were calling it, or what happened?
No, we turned the cameras on. This was my pre-show prep meditation. I'm an artist.
I'm not following.
I created this.
So what is this? Gnostic Media Podcast episode number 165, and who are you guys anyway?
Nobody. We're nobody. We don't even know who you are.
We're just regular Joes trying
Yeah.
to make a buck.
Trying to make a buck.
Trying to make some money. That's all.
We're in it for the money, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are.
Well, you should be careful saying that on my show because somebody will take that, out of context without the comedy factor, and it'll be like, like they did with the Branch Davidians and David Koresh, how they took that one clip out of context, him saying, "I am God,"
If I took a 70-year-old woman and got her pregnant, you better watch out. I'm God.
And they killed everybody.
Right. So you don't want to be like
We
David
don't want to be
Koresh.
in the house when they tear it down.
Right. Or
set it on fire.
Or set it on fire.
That's true.
Yeah.
Janet Reno could be hiding in the...
All right. Well, then the truth is we are somewhat funny sometimes in our approach to dealing with true or taboo issues.
True or taboo issues. What does that mean exactly?
Well, because we don't always know the truth, but the issues themselves are taboo.
And how do you find the truth?
By asking questions.
Indeed.
Yeah,
And what do you do aside from asking questions? Is there anything that... I mean, if you just asked a question, would the answer come, or do you have to follow through on anything?
We would at that point we would pray. We would start praying for the answer.
That's what we ask for Jesus' help.
And it comes to us in our dreams.
Yeah. And
No, this
And
actually.
so you channel the information from your anus?
Well, yeah, we channel it from
wherever it's coming in.
Yeah.
Or going out.
Or going out. Yeah. We don't judge.
Yeah.
Actually, this right here. That right
Coffee.
there.
Coffee.
See that?
Keeps me alert.
Yeah.
Keeps me
See what
awake.
that is right there? Jan actually introduced us to this. The coffee. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The trivium. The trivium has been really helpful to us, actually, obviously. We
Yeah, we should maybe move this mic so I can see you a little bit. I didn't think
I
about
know,
the
the
mic
mic-
placement.
I think the fourth person in the interview.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
you know what? I don't. Did we even hit record on this
don't know.
audio track here? Maybe that should be recording too. It's just backup audio, just in
okay.
case.
Perfect. Yeah.
Right.
So the interview starts now.
Right. Oh,
We are JoyCamp.
Yeah, here. You know, I'll move that over there so we don't. You know, we're not looking at the audio track.
Yeah, it might be.
But we're recording anyways. Just, you know,
Yeah.
We're called JoyCamp. We make videos, and we
make fun of cops.
we
right?
make fun of police officers and the government. We try to we just try to take.
So you're a conspiracy theorist.
Conspiracy theorist.
Man, I really hate that term. No, I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
What are you then? You're a conspiracy theorist.
I want to understand. I'm a guy who wants to understand.
And what do you mean understand? All you have to do is believe the government and believe the
and
mainstream
believe in
media.
Jesus.
And believe in
I
Jesus.
know that I have
Jesus.
an eternal soul that's going to go to heaven. And
But you know, when Fox tells you the facts, I mean that's the facts. That's the end of the story.
they are, yeah. And I'm really scared after I watch Fox, so I believe everything they're telling me.
I love Fox.
But Obama's here for you,
For all of us.
right?
For everybody,
I mean,
especially.
he brings us the fallacy of hope.
Yeah, and the change too. We can't forget
And
the change.
forward.
That he brings. Moving
Yeah.
forward. Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
we can.
Yes,
Just
it's like Agenda 21 and you know, like this whole archaic revival thing. Because evolving, we have to return to the Dark Age. You know, that's how we evolve,
Right.
by going backwards.
by going backwards. Yeah, that's
Right.
That's how you move forward is by walking backwards.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
figured that.
Well, I get
out.
headaches when I think too much, so I just like to check out as much as possible.
Right.
See what's
So
on-
what do you do to check out?
I get locked into my iPhone and I download apps.
Do you
I play video
do you sniff
games.
glue or anything?
No, but
I just drink a lot of
He shot,
alcohol.
too.
I
He
just
shot,
drink
too.
a lot of alcohol.
You're a big
I
shot.
have some cider.
shop,
I have
in a
some
shop.
gluten-free cider right here.
Uh,
Maybe we should X out the name brand. We don't want that showing because we'd probably get like sued or something from this company that makes this stuff.
Well, we just don't consent to it.
we just sue them right back.
That's right. We
Bam.
would just take them to the higher court and
Take that.
Sue him for gold
Take that.
Sue
Newton's
them for
folly.
harassment.
or death. Put
Didn't
him
see
to
that one
death.
coming.
for. Why would we put them to death?
Well,
For fucking asking for my money. Suing me.
this is good,
So,
good coffee, by the way.
It's great coffee. It's great coffee.
Smooth.
So, you know, Sarah's over here and she's actually the moderator and she's keeping totally quiet. But she's like the one that's supposed to ask us the questions that we prepared for her earlier.
Right.
So far, everything is cut, and we
yeah,
move forward.
So yeah, so we
Let me get
have
my
this
prepared
list,
answers ready.
and you know we're all intoxicated, honestly,
On hope and change.
on
and
hope and
love
change,
and
right,
water and coffee.
and water and coffee,
And tequila.
Well, inebriology, right?
and cannabis, and oh wait, tequila,
Tequila.
and cider,
Tobacco.
tobacco.
Caffeine.
It was of course tobacco not from a tobacco company. It was like natural
It was good tobacco.
whole tobacco.
Yeah.
We should have a bigger mic, I think, right?
So he Ben here, and you guys didn't introduce it. This is Kevin.
Yes.
And
Oh
this
yeah, I'm
is
Kevin.
Ben, and
Ben.
Ben is
Ben.
actually he's into coloring, and
I didn't get it done in time. I wanted to have it ready before we started
That's okay,
recording,
we
so
can
so it was already in the
Just
shot.
a little advertising there because we're in this for the money. We hope that you send us your money.
We're gonna get franchised, and we want to just cash.
We want to go
in.
corporate all the way.
Yeah. people are gonna, but no, people will take this.
Yeah, they
seriously,
are gonna
so
take this very
We're just
seriously.
kidding. We're just
Yeah,
kidding.
it's a joke.
It's a joke.
This is a joke.
Those of you,
Just a
And
joke.
don't worry, we can always insert a digital logo right here in the video.
That's true. We could. All right. We'll do a digital logo. Let's hang that one up.
Oh.
But I still like both. I mean,
I like
Can we,
both,
can we
too.
put the digital over this one?
Yeah.
So
Let's
like-
let's completely censor this one out. And then
all right,
put a
yeah,
digital
and then
one.
we'll just put it right there, right over there.
And slow,
In fact, we could probably just put it right here.
I'll hold it up and slowly
exactly.
it'll start moving forward.
Wait. Here, I don't know. Let's just hold it in front of all the
I
cameras.
can hold it to this camera
Yeah,
the whole
exactly.
time.
Yeah.
Every time we cut to this camera,
And then we'll trade
I'll
them.
put my face in a little bit so they can see me talking.
Okay, wait. Let's make 4 more, and we'll put them one in front of every camera.
Okay.
All right, sold.
Okay. So.
So this is going to be
That's a wrap, right?
Gnostic Media's most senseless podcast probably ever. But hopefully, out of all this humor and senselessness, will come some bit of tangible reality
Right.
that we can,
Right.
bring back and share with the rest of humanity.
Yeah, that is the goal. In all seriousness, that is the goal. That's what we do. We make comedy is the universal language. I mean, it really just is. So,
Well, it's more than that. It's a Trojan horse, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
It's a great way to, when you have, it's easy for us to preach to the choir, obviously. Like, we need to go beyond that because we've been preaching to the choir for a long time, and that's great and it helps people, but we really need all those people that we spend so many nights angry at calling sheep, which we're guilty of it too. We need those people, and
Right.
it's hard to get those people because you post stuff on Facebook and then they fight you, and they're conditioned and trained.
And do they ever read when they attack?
No, they
you?
never read. Of course, they never read.
Do they ever look at anything before they attack it?
No, they never. They type.
And
Or they come up with stock responses like, "What are you going to do about it?" Well, why don't you leave?
Yeah, love it or leave it.
It's always been that way. Things have always been this way.
Or you guys, I'm sure you get to your favorite. They have lots of names that you like.
Oh, conspiracy theorists.
Conspiracy theorists, nut job,
crazy,
wacko,
lunatic.
But you guys are
psychotic,
conspiracy
you're
theorists.
Or just
right?
crazy commie, or teabagger, or even like crazy ones.
I know.
Or controlled opposition, even.
Controlled
That's
opposition.
that's a good
We've
one.
got that too.
Because you guys actually expose things, so
Right.
then you're controlled opposition.
Exactly, of course, yeah.
So how are you controlled opposition? Like, which video did they accuse you of?
I don't remember which one it was. I think it was more of a collective. Like they saw a few of the videos and
Like,
thought
aren't you? They're kind of
Yeah,
creepy. We were creepy to that guy, I think.
So, like, and that's the thing, too, is I get called controlled opposition because I provide citations that people can check.
Some people are just addicted to conspiracy, I think, and they just go after everything.
Well, what's
They
funny
can't
is,
trust
like,
anything.
they'll call you a conspiracy theorist, right? While they're accusing you of creating some conspiracy and not, like, actually providing real stuff, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like, you're a conspiracy theorist, but there's always some conspiracy behind their attacks against you.
Well, they always attack the person and not the message
or
the information.
That would be too
because
difficult.
that's all they have. It's frustrating when we deal with it.
But if I call you, like, a commie or a Republican or, like, accuse you of wearing pink shirts on Fridays, then I don't have to listen to anything you say. I mean, why would anything you say after that be valid?
Exactly.
Right.
And we, on the other end, kind of just have to do that when those people do it. Or...
But, I mean, aren't their points valid when they...
Yeah, their points are completely
But that
valid.
said, I mean, those instances are rare. We've mainly just received...
That's true.
I don't want to say praise. I don't want to toot our own horn, but people are thanking us for doing what we're doing because we are making really heavy issues lighthearted and making them accessible and making them and we're getting to the point in a very short amount of time in an easy to digest way that's hopefully funny and hopefully something that people will want to look into on their own after they see a video and then share it with friends because it is something that doesn't scare people off.
When you go outside, do you ever look up?
I can't not look up. Like I have to look up.
But then wouldn't that make you a conspiracy theorist if you look up?
Right. Exactly.
Or crazy, or a nut job, or a wacko, or.
Because when I was a kid, they didn't used to have like these white lines in the sky that stayed for hours. And when I was like 16, I had a pilot's license, and so like these trails like behind airplanes, they would kind of disappear after a few minutes. Now they kind of spread out and form clouds. But like if you talk about like if you actually look up, then you're crazy.
Yeah, they're really pretty though. At least we have that.
Things have always been that way. Things have always been that way.
I like the checkerboards and when they like do the anarchy signs.
Yeah, and they look like crosses.
Those are
railroad tracks. Toothpicks. It's awesome.
But they look natural though.
Oh, they're
totally
definitely natural. Those are just clouds.
They're modeled in the image
What kind
of clouds.
Those?
They want
those are the
Well, my favorite though is when the planes turn, so the straight line becomes more of a candy cane, and then as it spreads out, it really does kind of look like a really murky, strange cloud.
Yeah.
Because they've moved the plane, so it's
because the plane's just going on its normal path. Obviously, it does U-turns all the time.
I mean, Los Angeles is riddled with these trains.
Oh, I know this song. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Where? That long cloud, it looks like a whisker.
Oh yeah, well, like a mustache, kind of.
Ooh.
Like a long mustache.
Like a really long mustache.
Yeah,
I like
long
it.
white mustache.
Oh, look over there. It looks
Where?
like a tic-tac-toe board. I'll be
Oh,
the X.
I'll be O's then.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. That looks like a toothpaste. Like that little plane right there is the holder, and then that long
That's the
streak is
toothpaste?
the toothpaste.
Guys, it's chemtrails. You guys are looking at chemtrails. Those aren't real clouds.
So do you believe these conspiracy theorists that actually claim that, like, the government actually announces that they're going to spray in the public notices section of the newspaper, but nobody looks?
Well, we have shopping.
Well, I think
so.
honestly that's the proof that that it's a conspiracy, that it is something bad for us. Because if it was something good for us, if they wanted us to know, or even if it was bad and they wanted us to know about it, they would be celebrating. So look what we've done for you. We've put these chemicals in the air to, what are they doing? What do they say? They're blocking out, dangerous sunlight
UV
because of
rays
the holes in the ozone because of global warming. Like, this is for your own good. If that were the case, they would be much more.
It's like
They'd be
spraying
tooting
rain
their
on
own
an ant
horn.
colony and telling them it's good.
They'd be celebrating
Yeah,
their
it's
own
good for
victory. They'd be celebrating. There'd be a holiday about it. How they saved us from the fucking holes in the ozone through chemtrails. Like, they would showcase that. And the fact that they don't, that it's so hard to get a straight answer from them, that's, to me, the proof that it's a cover-up. That it's not good for us.
He's the conspiracy guy.
Is he telling the truth or is he telling a lie? He's the conspiracy guy.
And when things are overdone, like this Boston situation, to me, it's what proves it's not what we're told is the fact that they exploit it so much. They put so much attention on it. They won't let you forget about it. That's how you know.
And then sending people door to door in Florida to look for conspiracy theorists and whatnot.
Right.
I mean, it's just how far can they violate freedom of speech and the right to fight against tyranny, foreign and domestic, and everything else. As our first right is to protect ourselves from a corrupt government, and anybody who checks the citations quickly finds that the government isn't what they claim they are, and that's the whole illusion that they have to keep up and getting people to never check the citations. And in fact, they'll go so far as to create false theories of science to get people to believe that there is no truth, that truth is arbitrary, that you live in a quantum delusion, and there's no reason to check anything. So why bother? Why look? Just be positive and go along and accept the New World Order when it comes.
What are you going to do about it?
Right.
May as well just go along with it.
I mean, there is no truth, so what can you do if there is no truth?
Yeah,
what are you going to do,
we'll
bro?
never know.
What are you going to do? Why don't you move?
USA, Boston.
So,
Boston.
North Korea released a documentary called Propaganda. Would you guys like to comment on that?
From Boston to North Korea.
Boy, yeah. We both recently saw this film, and it's produced by North Korea, and it's all about Western propaganda.
Approved by Kim Jong-il.
Our glorious leader. What do they call him?
Mission accomplished. We have our scapegoat.
It's the realization that, for a lot of people, that our society uses all of these mind control techniques. It's not just the commies.
Right.
It's not just, Israel or whoever. It's all of these different, it's the U.S. doing it. And then when you see it all and you see how they're manipulating and dumbing everybody down through the compulsory education, you go into a Walmart or a Target and just walk past the toy section and look at all the toys. All the boy toys are about boy toys. All the boys.
Tell us more about these boys.
What are the boy toys like?
All the boys toys
Go on.
are about war or construction work and stuff
man.
like this, and all of the girls' toys are all these superficial, bright pink, Barbie and all this superficial glamour stuff.
You're never gonna be a princess. You actually have like a 0% chance of becoming a princess, especially in this country.
Princesses are really nice, though.
I'm not saying they're not nice. They're nice, they're kind, they're beautiful. They talk to animals.
The princess don't talk to skunks.
Well, in Cinderella, she talks to mice.
Nobody does that.
Have you ever fallen asleep for like 20 years at a time?
No.
Do you want to hang out with dwarves?
Mm-mm.
Exactly my point.
Well, I like princesses. You're stupid.
I am not stupid. I'm not.
You're a stupid ass.
And so, it's blatant what they're doing, and then you go to you see these kids and how they're affected by, the dress and everything, and it's just, this is the product that they've created,
Right.
that they then turn and blame us for. Look at all these stupid consumers. Oh, and meanwhile, Edward Bernays, who created this stuff, and all these guys, they sell it, and then they're sitting back there laughing, and then they turn around and blame us for the problem that we supposedly created.
Right.
Right. I teach in a middle school. I teach arts to 7th and 8th graders, and they're mainly black Mexican community. And we do improv games with them. And whenever we give them a scenario or let them choose a scenario of what's going on in a scene, all the guys, it's always violence. Always violence. Or drugs, or some sort of like running away from the cops, and you say like, okay, what are they doing? Oh, they just robbed a bank. Oh, they just shot a guy. Or they just made a drug deal. Oh, they just, or he's a bum. He's homeless. And the girls, it's always like, oh, she's at the mall. She's shopping. She's looking for a new necklace. She's getting shoes. So it's all violence from the boys and vanity from the girls.
Yeah, and that's important
down the line.
Because when you think about that,
and so one more note,
Sure.
They all have ADD. They're all taking pills for their fucking
I know,
ADD or
of
the
course.
ADHD. All of them. Wow, I exaggerate. A lot of them are taking these fucking pills because they have too much energy for the classroom. That's all it is. They don't know how to be contained. The teachers can't contain their energy because they're not really learning anything, and they are wild, so they give them pills. And the parents are conditioned to want to get the pills for them, to want to fix their kid.
Well, that's what it's all.
And then they eat
And
sugar.
meanwhile, they feed them sugar and weeds.
And they can name every single kind of gun because of the fucking video games they play. They all love this Black Ops game. I overheard a conversation with these kids, and they were listing off names of guns, like, assault rifles.
Sure.
And I was like,
well, and this is all of the the conditioning by the military spends millions and millions of dollars into video games, which are now bigger than Hollywood.
And I said, you kids, you guys, these are 6th graders. Like, you guys shouldn't be talking about guns. You guys shouldn't know about guns. And they're like, we're not talking about guns. We're talking about a video game. That's what they said. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is though, what you're saying is that's a fucking snapshot of the generation after.
Sure, and it's all created, and
Exactly.
it's all a product. It's all dumbing down.
And you look at them, and it's hard now. The times have changed quickly because it's very difficult now. Everything is getting shorter and quicker and faster. It's Orwell, right? It's like living in 1984 with Twitter, and everything is reducing the language, and people are distracted by so many things
LOL.
now. All that bullshit.
They can't even express themselves anymore with how.
So
even though we all use these things like laughing out loud and laughing my ass off and
OMG,
OMG.
LMA.
Well, and think about the people like us in our situation.
Laughing my effing ass off. And
your generation and ours and the people that like watch this stuff, they're still watching. What are we to think of that generation after us? Does that therefore mean that we have to solve this problem right now?
Well, and you're a generation, essentially, you're the generation after me,
right.
know. And so, because I'm in my 40s, so... and here we were doing this for 20 years and just barely keeping things in balance, but without something like the Trivium to really empower people so that they can empower other people and see how the game actually works.
Oh, that's the other thing about these kids. They don't know shit about shit. They don't know anything about anything.
Well, when you have this time with these kids, do try and instill concepts of the trivium in them so that they can gather information and learn things?
I encourage them to question everything. And my biggest function with these kids, because I do it with a group, I'm a mentor. They don't respond well to a curriculum that we're trying to cram down their throats, but they do respond to me.
You could essentially use it to almost trick them into like learning about
They
something.
love me. I'm their favorite teacher. It's only because I listen to them and I talk to them. I don't punish them. I talk to them and I listen. And I'm a role model as a result. And that's my biggest influence, is showing them
lead by example.
Yeah, what it's like to be a leader and what it's like to not follow the herd and to actually self-educate.
Yeah,
they're also internet savvy. I mean, they can. That would be the key with those kids, if you can shift their attention to the internet, realize that they can know more about the world if they shift their focus on the internet.
And again, like with our videos, that's another point of why we do it that way. We have a video, the attention span one, which was really has a broader message of the fact that 8 seconds was the average attention span, I think, in 2012 for people, which is frightening. And we have to keep our videos short for the most part and hit the points quick and make them laugh in order to really plant these seeds on them, because if they see a video that's longer than a few minutes, like, these kids don't really want to watch it.
And furthermore, I mean, I tell all my students to subscribe to my channel and watch my videos, because I feel like they are accessible for a middle school student to understand, to begin their awakening.
So have you had any reaction from parents or other teachers?
Not yet. No, I mean, I don't think the kids show their parents. I mean, it's like their little inside joke with me or something, or what they do on YouTube is not something they share with their parents.
I have a friend who has a 10-year-old daughter or something like that. And
wait until this video goes out. Then everybody knows.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, show this one to your kids. He shows JoyCamp videos to his 10-year-old daughter, because he says he likes to go watch something funny before they go to bed and be feeling good before they sleep. So he says they always go to our channel, and his daughter is young, and I'm like, that's cool. That's cool to know that it can reach even that border. So that's why the comedy thing, we joke and we're silly, but we're also very serious. And that's
when are you guys going to make the Trivium comedy video?
Well, we want to.
As soon as I don't feel I feel like such a novice. I feel like I would be doing it a disservice to do it before I understood it better, because I'm intimidated because I don't know enough about it, or my brain's not synced up with it enough yet.
But I also accept it's a long process, and just even talking about it and reading it on
your the best way to really learn it is to try and teach it, and because then it forces you to learn it, right?
That makes sense.
And that's so when you're putting the video together or whatever, you would be going through the steps of grammar, logic, and rhetoric, which is the process of the trivium in and of itself. You have to put together the facts of what the trivium is. You have to remove the contradictions to be able to explain it to others, which is the explanation is the rhetoric part at the end, right?
Yeah.
And that's
so our videos end up being like 5 seconds long.
There you go. That was the video.
Shorter the better.
You just did it right
just
there.
A flash.
Done.
And then they get it.
Who, what, where, when, why, how.
They're like, oh.
Boom.
Their eyes wide.
Send that out.
And they get it.
Viral.
Yeah. That's the goal.
It's the biggest comedy hit ever,
Yeah. It will have a million 1-second videos, and they'll all be good.
Well, yeah, we plan on doing
it's amazing, all of these kids, and us included, we're taught who, what, where, when, why, and how in 2nd, 3rd grade, and that's the basic.
Moving on.
Yeah. That's the basics.
And then Columbus
everything,
landed in America.
Right.
This is Jamestown.
Yeah. Study this packet. Answer these multiple choice questions.
And the Pilgrims shared their food with the Indians.
The answers are. Yeah, the answers
are. The Pilgrims shared their food with the Indians.
They shared their knowledge. And they loved each other.
Oh, school. What a fucking joke that was, man. Jesus Christ. I can't believe it when I look back sometimes when you learn this shit and you think, man, I was in that fucking school.
I'm so happy I was a bad student in retrospect. I mean, I really.
Oh yeah, I got suspended for smoking weed and everything in high school.
I failed classes in high school. I mean, I was 1 F away from being put in the correctional school.
Well, I went on home study for the last 6 months of high school.
I was on home study for a semester.
I just hated it. I couldn't stand it,
Well, I got all A's, so my parents were very hard on grades. Yeah, but it was easy for me though.
Well, there's the door over there.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I got good grades.
Yeah,
4.0.
Hey, I'm saying.
I'm on the honor roll.
I'm just saying. Look.
So you're more brainwashed than the rest of us. Congratulations.
right, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
I'm out.
No, I think, but I thought about this a lot, actually. I think I would have been diagnosed with ADD if I was a kid now. Because I couldn't pay
Aren't
attention.
they all
I would,
diagnosed with
I would
ADD?
drift off.
Isn't that
I
the
know,
thing,
but
though?
it wasn't like
Oh,
that.
sure. I mean, of course.
It wasn't like that 20 years
Yeah.
ago. It wasn't that intense. I mean, kids were being put on Ritalin. I
And
remember that.
you feed them wheat in the morning and their cereal and then a wheat sandwich for lunch and a hamburger or whatever, and of course they can't think because they're
you sign their birth certificate when they're
filled with-
born, so they're
yeah, and they're so
corporation
filled
right
with
away.
sugar
Right.
and you know wheat messes up their ability to think clearly anyway.
Oh, yeah, he won't. Yeah, he's not drinking the water. Let's put some sugar in there. Oh,
Right,
now he's
and
making it.
then you put sugar on the wheat on top of it, and
No,
then
he's
you
only-
feed
well,
it
he only
to him
calms
with
down when he has
low-fat
sugar.
milk in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh look, he's
Pasteurized low-fat milk.
This sounds good. Can we have
when he
some?
drinks that Sprite, he's calm. Let's keep giving him Sprite. That's what I think.
I'm drinking Sprite right
That's
now.
that's my impression of a parent. 2013
We're obviously not parents, so.
that we know of.
But seriously.
Dun,
What's going on back there?
I think it's water.
Oh.
No, I've never had sex.
Yeah, we're both virgins. We're both very
I'm
Catholic.
saving myself.
Catholic. We were raised Catholic.
So this is your
We go
line
to
to
church.
pick up chicks, or
We pray.
No, you know, I've said that before and it never works. No one ever believes me.
What? When you say what?
I'm a virgin.
Oh, they don't believe you?
Mm.
Huh.
that's too bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't said it in a while, but when I was like 19 or 20,
Yeah. What was that?
I thought I could get away. I was testing them.
Have you ever said it to a man? That would be the real test right there.
I don't remember. I'm a virgin.
Yeah. Keeping it real here. With
Depends
the
on how
JoyCamp.
you say it. How you say it.
Yeah.
So that's some trivia.
Yeah, we shouldn't
right
let
there.
people see what's on this. We should just like put this down here.
Yeah, definitely. Hide that. Just-
Right to
all
the
they need to
camera.
see is this. Just
You'd
go
be like,
there.
what was it? You know, now there's going to be all these conspiracies floating around the internet about what was that paper that Jan
Yeah.
took off the table that they couldn't see anyway.
What was on the other side of the JoyCamp
Yeah.
paper?
And why was he
What
conversing
is on the
with
other
those?
side of it?
More of the same.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there it is. That's youtube.com/thejoycamp.
The JoyCamp.
We're always open. Come by anytime.
Appears to be written on what's
And
addressed to the
they
CIA.
are Christians, and they do run a Christian, summer camp for the kids.
It's true.
Yes.
And they
JoyCamp is a Christian organization.
It is a Christian
You
organization.
can get some. You can learn some Bible study.
Read the
comedy.
Bible. Yep, you read the
Yeah.
Bible.
That's pretty much all we do. At the
You
camp.
accept the literal version of the Bible.
Right.
Literally.
Well, that's the best
That's
version.
that's the
Yeah,
only
it's the only way to
version.
interpret
Yeah.
it. King James.
The
At
King
that.
James,
We
yeah.
bring that in for the last week.
Definitely. And
That's the surprise at the end.
Obviously, we take donations. We charge, but we also take donations too. So
Right. Okay.
that's
Yeah.
So when you condition children, what's the process?
well, it's very. I think we just talked about it. The sugar, we do that.
Yeah, we don't let them see any sunlight. We nurture them to the point of till they're like 5. So they're in diapers
You
till they're
cause
5.
split
Yeah.
personalities and stuff so that you can.
Yeah, and they only
Abuse.
eat food from bags
Right. Or
and,
boxes.
and boxes
Bags and
Processed-
boxes.
good
That's
process-
actually
good
that's our
processed foods.
motto.
or sugar.
Yeah.
We make an exception.
When you go into a
And,
kitchen.
everything is kosher, right?
Yeah. Well.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't
I don't pay
check-
attention
we
to
don't
that.
check
You don't
Yeah.
make sure that you pay the tax to Israel.
Oh, I don't even. I just pay the
Well,
money.
we hire someone to do that.
I
I
just
just charge it. I don't like using cash. I only use
Yeah,
paper.
we have a whole legal team.
Yeah.
They deal with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they know the law,
Great.
Yeah.
the common law.
It's alright though, because I've given my life over to Jesus, so I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Excellent.
Saved.
Well, it's good to have a carpenter in your life.
I'll say.
Did you see The Passion of the Christ? Did you see that movie?
The Passion of the Christ?
Yeah.
Mel Gibson?
The Mel Gibson movie?
Yeah, I saw it, I think.
you guys see
I
that
saw
movie?
it. I vaguely
Yeah.
remember it. I just remember it being like gruesome blood splattering. everywhere.
I smoked my first joint before seeing that movie. I'd smoked weed before,
And so
but
that was
It
very
wasn't
traumatic.
my
Did
first
you,
joint,
Did
though.
you come out of there with split personality?
No,
Did you-
actually, I had a hard time not laughing in the theater next to him while we were watching it. In front of a theater of people in a very conservative religious town who were
Right.
crying, people who touched
Touching
the
the
screen
screen.
afterwards.
Oh, that's frightening.
Oh my god.
Terrifying. I worked in the movie theater. I was a projectionist at the movie theater at the time, so I
You're
would
a
see
projectionist.
this.
So
Yeah.
what kind of things do you project?
Well, project a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Astral
Astral projections. Yeah. No, but I worked at the movie theater during Passion of the Christ, and they would go up in just droves and just touch the screen, and they would have sometimes
Little
they would have
prayer circles
like
afterward?
a preacher would go out there and
Did it
do
turn
his thing.
into the
We ran, right? We ran.
Yeah, we ran out screaming. Just for fun.
Yeah, we ran out screaming out of the
Did it
theater.
turn into the shroud when the shroud?
We almost laughed a few times
when
in
they
the
touched the
theater.
screen because it's cloth.
No, it was during the scene when he had his shirt off and he was like carpentering and he was like glistening in the sun, and then someone was calling for him, Hesua, and we were like that in the theater, trying not to laugh, holding it in.
I mean, it's all mind
people next to
control.
us were crying. They were crying next to us.
Yeah, what we're trying to say is it's a really funny movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
If you haven't seen it,
It's
you want a
hilarious.
good laugh or two.
So if you want to understand propaganda, mind control, and looking at things from the outside, and
watch Mel
they're
Gibson
all
movies.
manipulated,
Just watch all of his movies.
They're really funny.
Smoke a big fat joint, go to the movie theater, watch Mel Gibson.
Well, I did watch his conspiracy theory movie last month, and it was.
I've actually been meaning to watch that. I never saw it.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's kind of funny because tomorrow night, next day, we're going to be releasing this new article on the Deadhead, and in there he talks about Jerry Garcia being MI6.
Great.
Kind of funny.
He does talk about that in the movie.
Yeah.
Have you looked into or do you know anything about Tony Scott and what happened to him last year? Filmmaker.
Ridley Scott's brother, and
he made a bunch of controversial movies throughout his career, and then he just all of a sudden decided to jump off a bridge and kill himself last year.
Tony Scott movies are great, like Enemy of the State, and you watch movies, his movies
movie.
are
I have it.
Yeah.
A lot of Denzel Washington movies.
Oh, yeah.
There's always sort of this social
exposing
going on in the background of this action movie.
Right.
And he's really clever about it. And the higher up in the ladder you go of the characters, the more evil they become.
Right.
In his movies. So they're actually brilliant. I didn't watch most of his movies, or I did as I was younger, but after he died, we got really interested in it, and so I started watching his movies. And I'm like, no wonder he must have been a thorn in their side.
He killed himself.
It's
out
like
of
Randy
nowhere.
Quaid, them going after him.
Running away from Hollywood, trying to kill me.
No, I can't really necessarily prove that, but if you watch his films,
or Dave Chappelle is another one.
Fuck you, Hollywood Ranch.
Fuck you, Hollywood Ranch.
Ran like a motherfucker to Africa. He said,
he saw it.
They propagandized the hell out of him for that.
He went crazy. He turned down money. That nut job.
That inside the actor
offer
interview
him a room
gives.
full of money and tell him to.
Hey, we're gonna control your show
will.
now. Yeah, here's the money. Now we have control over your ideas.
If anybody at this point hasn't seen that his inside video interview, fucking watch that right now because it's.
Yeah, stop
I've
watching
seen it.
this.
Yeah, turn this
Go
off.
watch Dave Chappelle. We're just
Subscribe
kidding.
first.
Don't stop watching.
Yeah, keep watching.
Don't stop watching.
Yeah.
So
or stop. Do what you want.
Yeah, live your life.
Well, Dave Chappelle's way funnier than you guys. So we have to say that.
Dave Chappelle,
that's true.
He is superior.
We're not a hair on Dave Chappelle's ass.
Fucking close.
That guy's a genius.
Yeah.
We're just making YouTube videos.
Yeah, little tiny YouTube sketch videos.
He's big in speed.
Well, all he did, he wrote sketches, and other people wrote sketches for him too, and it's all.
Yeah, he's brilliant. He's a genius.
Yeah,
he's a big inspiration.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of developments JoyCamp has in store, what does happen as a result of this, because we're not going anywhere. We love doing this, and
yeah, it's so fun, man. It's like such a release.
Well, let's clarify the fallacy of equivocation. They're not going anywhere. What does that mean?
We won't. I think what he's getting at is you're not going to find us dead with a suicide note.
Okay.
Oh, right. Yeah, we're not going anywhere. We love life.
You're not going to stop doing this. In other words, you're not like you're not standing still in life, not going anywhere. Like
Exactly.
Yeah, we're in it to win it, and it's
so fun, man. Like it's
fulfilling.
it's such a release, to be able to because it's frustrating, right? Like when you're dealing with you're looking at these fuckers all day long on the screen, and you're trying to deal with them, and you're trying to just handle the truth that you're learning from a day-to-day basis. And so to be able to take someone who we are learning from and just you just kind of want to you just want to see them be put to justice, let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
And to be able to make fun of them and poke fun at them and get laughs out of it and teach people the same thing, teach people something at the same time.
And to get our artistic rocks off.
It's such a satisfying feeling, it really is a release for us in a lot of ways to be able to laugh at the system that we're all, unfortunately, for our survival's sake, dependent on to some degree.
Phallic intentions and
right. Yeah, included.
Right. Many phallic jokes, many as possible. And fart jokes too.
Battery change up? Is this a break for a battery change up?
Plug this one in.
Oh, great.
Yes, I mean it's the most idiotic design flaw probably in history.
Brilliant. By brilliant, I mean not brilliant.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's great. I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
More of that.
Where do we leave off at? Conspiracy.
Yeah.
Mind control. Terrence McKenna.
So you guys got to read or sort of read here half of the article, the new article that's going out this week on the Deadhead. What did you think of that?
We did, yeah. We tell me the title. The
Manufacturing the Deadhead, a product of social engineering.
Great it's title. Tough. It's tough. It was tough to.
When you grew up in a hippie family.
Yeah, I owe a lot to my hippie family. I mean, my parents raised me without religion, and to be an empathetic person and to be kind and to ask questions. My mom
really appreciate cannabis and
appreciate. They did. Yeah, they did. And they hated the DARE program when I was a kid. They were so upset when I did that.
You actually signed up for it or what?
Oh, I had to. I was the only kid whose parents didn't come to the DARE graduation. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Just tell your little brother you couldn't pick him up because you were too busy smoking that brand new kush you just got, having the greatest time of your entire life. He'll understand.
But
yeah, good job, Mr. and Mrs. Wills.
No. I don't think it, unless I told them yeah, my parents aren't here. But I don't think I did that. I don't think I'd throw them under the bus. But yes, so I grew up with
maybe you should have
with parents who were hippies, and and for both of them, that's the best time of their life. That was the highlight of their life. My dad was an actor at the Berkeley Repertory Theater and the Magic Theater in Berkeley in the late 60s, early 70s, which is the 60s, right? And he was in the psychedelic movement, did a lot of LSD, practiced free love, and it's the biggest...
He was on the campus when they got
biggest
attacked.
part. He met Jim Morrison. He was, he saw the Beatles play. I mean, he was all about it. Still about it, frankly. And I grew up listening to all these records on vinyl. All the classics, all these MK Ultra classics.
Yeah, you've noticed all that music has you turn on the radio now and it's the same as when you were a kid, the same songs
over and over,
and
it's really
tough.
Over
and over and over.
That's true.
They're just trying to keep us in that 60s, early 70s phase. Keep the drug illusion going.
But it's a nice
keep classic rock and then you discover that all of these bands are out of Laurel Canyon, and they're all the Sons of Intelligence, and then, Jim Morrison's dad is the one who launched the Vietnam War with the Gulf of Tonkin incident.
Yeah.
Admiral Morrison.
And then you got the song "The End."
The End, and
all that apocalyptic stuff.
It's just loaded with.
Can I tell my dad?
Yeah, you should tell
your
dad's Jim Morrison story. It's short and sweet.
Make it live on in eternity. Okay, so my dad was an actor, and he was
You mean a waiter,
or? In those days, I think he
did well. He did okay, right?
I don't know what he was. No, he worked. He was like a mailman. When he was.
Oh, that's
right.
He had
odd jobs. He was a garbage man for a minute.
So you could actually do other jobs aside from waiting and act.
And he would plant he would plant bud seeds on his mail run throughout Berkeley.
Yeah.
Huh, Terry?
Yeah, Terry will.
Just kidding.
No, but so he was in a play, and one of the guys in the theater he worked in was a friend of Jim Morrison, and he came to one of the rehearsals one time, and he was just obnoxious. He was being very degrading to the women who were on stage, and he wouldn't let them just rehearse. He was yelling at them, and he had a bucket in one arm and a bottle of wine in his other hand, and he was yelling and cursing at the actors while simultaneously drinking the wine and barfing it back up in the bucket next to him.
Classy.
No joke. I mean, I don't know why my dad would make a story like that up, so I think it's pretty legitimate.
That sounds like Jim Morrison.
Maybe your dad.
It was a cycle of barf and wine and just obnoxious behavior.
Maybe it was
you've learned to grow up. You've grown up to appreciate barf and wine.
I just love Jim Morrison. I love Jim Morrison. I love
maybe it was your dad that was drunk and he was the one barfing in the thing, and then he just somehow.
It was mind control.
He was listening
my
to
dad was MK Ultra.
His dad is a victim of mind control.
And then he sucked Jim Morrison's dick.
Twice.
He doesn't remember that. He doesn't remember that. That's when they're like, the moon is rising, and he fucking Terry 2 came out and sucked his dick.
Are your shows PG rated?
It's an MK Ultra joke right there.
It's a PG rated show, right?
We'll have to come up with a rating like right now. So like that segment will be rated R, and then
Okay.
right now
So we'll like do like flagging
we're
or
going
something.
back to the PG right now.
Okay, we'll go back
now.
to
But you've been saying that, you know, you've been dropping out.
I'm a wild card. I'm a wild card.
Yeah, you've been talking about sucking dick and things left and right. I mean,
I've never. wait. I've never said anything
It's
of
like
the
the
sort.
Joe Rogan
That is
podcast.
Yeah,
a
this
lie.
is, yeah, we're getting dirty.
That is not true. I never said that.
Ladies
I don't
and
know.
gentlemen, this is the Joe Rogan experience.
Hey, here's the thing.
JoyCamp experience.
The cameras are rolling. That's all I'm saying. You gotta be careful what you say, man. You
Yeah,
don't know
but anyway.
who's watching.
But anyway, yeah.
Could
So
be the Central
back
Intelligence
on-
Agency. C.
oh, definitely. No brainer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is actually some fancy green tobacco that I'm smoking.
This is how they do it in Hollywood.
Yes, this is how we do it in California. We have special green tobacco that we use, and this is just a Hollywood smoke trick.
It's like Cheech and
machine
Chong.
right here. You know, this is a smoke machine here that we use
It's
for
a
the
water
stage.
pipe.
Right.
It's a prop water pipe.
Yes, it's a prop water pipe.
This is the PG segment, right? PG.
It's
This is
plastic.
the PG. This is for the kids. This section.
Yeah, for the
So
kids.
Right.
Bring your kids in the room right now.
Tell
sit
them
down.
this is what it looks like when you
So
smoke
this
fake pot.
segment is only for the
Minors.
states that have legal medical marijuana or legal cannabis, like Colorado or Washington. The rest of you need to turn off right now.
But all
Bye.
children.
You.
All children are okay
you.
though. Bring your kids in.
Yeah, we want babies.
Pause the video right now.
Bring
Bring your
your babies
kids in. Sit them down. Hit play.
All right.
But seriously, we're gonna smoke that, or
Do you want to smoke this? You're staring at it like you want to smoke it.
I want to show.
You,
I want to
you-
show.
you-
I want to show
you're
that.
like depraved.
I
or
want to show
something.
that it looks just the same
As the real
as
stuff.
real stuff.
Right.
But you
Yeah.
smoke the fake stuff.
Yes, it's really amazing.
It's
And
actually-
it even makes you feel the same. It's such a good prop, you know.
Actually, we have a lot of money to spare, and this is actually CG. This is superimposed.
That's
Right.
true. The smoke is
We have
all
sound
going to be
effects.
edited.
This is and this is all Adobe right here, folks.
Yeah, After Effects right here.
You guys can keep talking while.
No, we're gonna watch you.
He
quietly.
actually has little baby girl lungs. Did you see that? I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't even see any smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's an illusion. I think it looked like I had baby lungs,
Yeah.
but
Right.
for the camera.
Why do you do that? That's a weird thing to allude to.
I'm
You would,
acting.
you would think that you would make you look like really big and tough, you know?
Right. Yeah, you want to take a big hit on
Yeah.
the camera.
I want to be as
you know.
intimidating as
Yeah,
possible for
exactly,
those
yeah.
watching.
Yes,
Yeah.
like that little tiny doesn't look very
I know.
intimidating, you know.
Fuck, guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it on camera anymore.
It's true.
Alright, I don't-
So it looks the same, it tastes the same, and it also has
It
the same
feels the
effect,
same,
But it's
too.
not
It's
real.
just a prop.
It's not
This is
real.
fake, yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
Right.
It's not really there.
This is just a little secret of Hollywood, you know? When you're here, you just know it. You just know that.
Yeah, this is a trick, a Hollywood trick. Smoke and mirrors,
Yep.
So yeah, you know,
peas and carrots.
of course,
A lot of things, really.
this is, you know, obviously
Frank and
some
beans.
sort of propaganda that we're doing right now, or something that we're going to be accused of.
Right,
Yeah.
Right.
of not obeying the law,
Right.
and
Even though we're in
endorsing
this,
drugs.
even though this is, you know, Prop 215 I worked on, so you know I worked with Jack Hare and
Right.
Dennis Perone and all those guys.
telling
and
kids not to listen
So
in
I
school.
mean, this is like
Don't
you
take
know,
your meds.
But you know, this isn't. This is irrelevant anyway because this isn't that.
It's cannabis propaganda.
Exactly.
Right. CB.
Canaganda.
There's a good pun in there somewhere.
Canaganda. I think you got it.
Marijuana gant, no.
No, I think it was
Mariganda?
Canaganda. I think.
Canaganda. Canaganda.
Canaganda.
Canaganda. That's what this is.
That's
Sounds
good.
like a country, Canaganda.
It does.
Yeah, I want to.
It's
I wanna
just
live there.
it's just north of Canada, Canaganda.
Canaganda.
The-
Is it sovereign state? Are we gonna invade?
Well, it's in the
Have we
middle of
been?
the
Have we
Arctic.
invaded them yet?
yeah. How many countries have we invaded so far?
Yeah.
Well,
this is getting pretty
depends on
short.
If you go by Gord Vidal's list or
What's his list? 70 something.
70 something, and then
Yikes.
that Korea movie says like
37.
37.
Yeah.
That just seems way low to me.
I know.
think it's, you know,
It
more
does.
Only
than
37 in 50
Yeah.
years.
Because you know, I mean, I
kidding?
think like Serbia, and you know, and I was in, you know, I lived in Yugoslavia during all of that, you know, and they'd be like saying the Serbs are running down the street, you know, gunning down children, and you look outside and shit, and it's like kids playing basketball and playing, you know, hopscotch and shit outside. You're like, what the hell is going on, you know?
Wait, they're not playing video games or playing with their iPhones?
No, they play outside.
They don't have all the latest apps?
What do we do with that though, right?
No, they have but they play outside.
But okay,
I'm not understanding.
But seriously, like a serious question though.
Yeah.
No, they.
For one serious question here.
All right, please. Yes.
Amidst all this.
Yes, the mic is yours.
Like what is it? Is it lost? Is that a lost cause? That generation, those people.
You mean people younger than you?
Yeah,
You
or do we?
Well,
have...
I do hear from some people younger than you, so it's not a totally lost generation. I mean, that girl that does the, you know, the valedictorian speech.
That's right.
And constantly remember how insane this ostensibly same place really is. And now here I am in a world guided by fear, a world suppressing the uniqueness that lies inside each of us. A world where we can either acquiesce to the inhuman nonsense of corporatism and materialism or insist on change. We are not enlivened by an educational system that clandestinely sets us up for jobs that could be automated, for work that need not be done, for enslavement without fervency for meaningful achievement. We have no choices in life when money is our motivational force. Our motivational force ought to be passion. But this is lost from the moment we step into a system that trains us rather than inspires us. We are more than robotic bookshelves, conditioned to blurt out facts we were taught in school. We are all very special. Every human on this planet is very special. So aren't we all deserving of something better? Of using our minds for innovation rather than memorization, for creativity rather than futile activity, for rumination rather than stagnation? We are not here to get a degree, to then get a job, so we can consume industry-approved placation after placation. There is more, and more still. The saddest part is that the majority of students don't have the opportunity to reflect as I did. The majority of students are put through the same brainwashing techniques in order to create a complacent labor force working in the interests of large corporations and secretive government. And worst of all, they are completely unaware of it. I will never be able to turn back these 18 years. I can't run away to another country with a different education system, perhaps meant to enlighten rather than condition. This part of my life is over, and I want to make sure that no other child will have his or her potential suppressed by powers meant to exploit and control. We are human beings. We are thinkers, dreamers, explorers, artists, writers, engineers. We are anything we want to be, but only if we have an educational system that supports us rather than holds us down. A tree can grow, but only if its roots are given a healthy foundation.
You know, she's a perfect example.
And the other guy, I wish I remember his name right now, but there's a guy on YouTube 2 days ago that went viral because he stood up to his teacher in the classroom.
How old though?
And it was in high school. He stood up in class and he told the teacher, because he said he was so fed up, I guess, the video just comes in at some point and he's already kind of ranting, and he's telling this teacher that she needs to actually teach the kids to stand up, and he says, since I've been in this class, all you've done is give us packets. Just packets. He says some kids don't learn that way. You got to engage with them. He says if you want kids to learn something, you got to touch their heart, and that's how they'll learn something. And so the whole time she's like, get out, all right? You're excused. The principal's office, the whole video. She's doing that. Yeah, exactly.
You want kids to come in your class, you want them to get excited for this, you got to come in here, you got to make them excited. You want a kid to change and start doing better, you got to touch his freaking heart.
So I feel hope when I see kids younger than me. Michael, who films everything for us, he's 21, my brother. He's very hip to all this stuff. So I see hope in that too. So many of them, though. It's really like night and day, isn't it? They're either hip or they're not at all, right?
Hip or square.
Yeah, you're either hip or you're square. And you know what?
It's like,
you know what though? Fuck it. If it's
like the square heads back, and that's way before you guys.
Blockheads.
Yeah, but
the blockheads. Yeah.
But now though, I remember being in school in high school. I would have to hide my good grades from people because I would get made fun of. You know, like I would get called names for it.
Kids are ruthless. They'll make fun of people for anything.
That's true. Anything. You know that better than us. But I got picked on, so I'd have to hide my grades. And now though, it's in my eyes, it's fucking square to not know stuff. To be ignorant and to not know things is not hip and not cool.
Yeah, totally.
To know the truth and to be
first.
smart is fucking cool. And if anyone I meet that you can tell you engage with them a little bit, you're like, you're fucking cool and I want to hang out with you some more. But other people that just talk about the mundane stuff,
right? And they just don't,
man.
You know, they just regurgitate things without ever investigating and find out what's really, you know, it's like this saying I got a couple of weeks ago. What were they? now I'm forgetting it. But essentially, you know, wise people discuss or debate ideas. Mundane people debate events, and small people attack people, or small minds attack people.
Right, it's a great quote.
Yeah, so, you know, it's essentially always what we're dealing with, and we're always dealing with people who just absolutely refuse to ever investigate something before they decide what it is.
Right.
Yep.
You know, and they'll go through their whole lives believing a lie, and they'll say that they don't have the time or whatever, and they'll attack you for actually looking into something. But they actually think that it's beneficial to go through their whole lives believing a lie than to sit down for 10 minutes or a few hours or a few days and investigate something.
Right.
Rather than investing their whole lives into false beliefs. And it's just, you know, it's such a simple concept to understand, you know, that you need to fact check any information that you're going to send downstream before
absolutely
you do.
you do. Yeah.
And, you know, and it doesn't take that much time. I mean, I might write an article or a book or, you know, go to some university archive or whatever to find something out, but still, you know, it's better for me to spend the time doing that or filing a FOIA request with the CIA than it is to go along like for another 50 years believing that Wasson is this hero when he was actually working with the CIA, the head of MK Ultra Subproject 58. You know, and I mean, all of these people have just blindly followed this lie for the last 55 years to the cost of so much in the name of ignorance, you know.
They don't want to think that everything they've done in their own life means nothing.
Means everything rather than just stepping up and saying, hey, you know, we're wrong, and then you go from
all
there.
these things I've been pursuing and the foundation I've been laying and this life I've built around myself.
And how much more honorable to admit that you're wrong and step up and let that itself be the true achievement, rather than hiding and then other people down the road finding out that you were a coward and that you tried to cover all of this stuff up.
But it's also in the conditioning. We're meant to feel weak and powerless, just that we can't do anything.
I know that's
totally like be down on ourselves and be upset and think we can't accomplish things. We can only be so.
Well,
we only achieve so
I mean,
much.
and quantum physics is such a key part in the whole thing. You know, I interviewed David Harriman on my show a couple of times, and you know, interestingly, he's from the Ayn Rand Institute.
Yeah.
And everybody hates Ayn Rand, and they'll attack everything that ever came out of the Ayn Rand Institute without even studying it. Just guilt by association. You know, if Ayn Rand said one word wrong, then everything that she ever said is wrong, and everything is invalid. You know, which is of course absurd. But David Harriman, he did a whole study showing that the whole foundation of quantum physics is based on Immanuel Kant. And so here's this guy, Immanuel Kant, who basically you know, was tricking people into not being able to, or essentially into not believing their own five senses. And so what happens is you lower people's self-esteem when they don't trust themselves to find answers, and they always have to go to the teacher or the priest or the policeman or the doctor in the white coat or the politician to get an answer about anything or to be told what to think and what to do. You know, the soldier waiting for his next command, etc. And so what happens is when you learn to trust your own five senses and gather information, then all of a sudden you no longer rely on authority. You no longer need other people's approval to find out if something is correct or not.
Yep.
You know, it's like, I know that this information is correct for the simple matter that I fact-checked it. I went to the primary documents, or I looked it up, I did the steps that I needed to take to go and verify it. And it's not about, you know, truth is arbitrary. There is no truth in the world. You can't find anything. It's about getting out there and trusting yourself and building your self-esteem and knowing what's true. And then once you know what's true, you're able to make valid decisions in your life.
And your life will get better
and your
as
life
a
gets
result.
better because
Absolutely.
and you know, your life gets better, your self-esteem goes up because you're constantly making more and more competent decisions.
Exactly.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what, you know, 100 million, you know, a million Frenchmen that can't be wrong, supposedly, right?
Yep.
Because you can be that one guy, and all of these people, like in the psychedelic movement with Gordon Wasson being CIA, you know, it doesn't matter the 55 years of other scholars who went around and, you know, regurgitated everything Wasson said, and not one of these so-called scholars ever once bothered to fact-check Gordon Wasson and his background.
No.
Why am I the first scholar in 55 years that went to the university archives or filed a FOIA request with the CIA and looked. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And people just regurgitated this stuff. And, you know, you see all of these contradictions in his research and his attacking John Allegra. Nobody even verified in all of this time John Allegra's citations. We checked them, none of them were wrong. That's a problem. You know, so, you know, here we have this whole disinformation. Let's attack somebody who does research.
Yeah.
And then we're going to present this fuzzy bull story over here. Right. And you're just going to believe it, and you're not going to question it. And then if anybody ever does, we're going to attack them.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of their modus operandi, right?
Indeed it is.
And their stories always challenge logic. I mean, they just don't make sense, and people just buy it. And I think people buy it because it is for multiple reasons.
Well, you know,
because it is absurd. It's like,
well,
what?
Look at this. You know, if you read Terence McKenna's book, The Invisible Landscape, the entire book is simply an attack on you and logic. You know, their time is ever flexing. You know, is ever in motion and flexing. Space is ever in motion and flexing. Your brain is from a hologram, in a hologram. You're nothing but a quantum dilution. Reality is just a quantum of one big guy in mind. You can't know anything. And so therefore you might as well not even try, right?
Yeah.
And what's interesting, he says in one sentence, you know, all of the physical laws of the universe will end in one great apocalypse. And then he turns around and he says, you know, but we need to follow the law of thermodynamics in another chapter in the same book.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, excuse me, how can we dismiss all of the laws of physics and everything but follow this law? Why this law, but we're going to dismiss all of these others? You know, but when you realize that the entire book is just an attack on the intellect, and that to get young kids to believe that they can't find any truth, you know, quantum physics is law.
Yeah.
Never mind that the concept of, in quantum physics, that there is no truth is a statement of truth itself. So it's a contradiction. I mean, how can you state a fact that there is no truth when you're stating that that is the truth?
Right.
Yeah.
See? And so that in and of itself makes quantum physics fall apart. But, you know, going back to David Harriman, I did these 2 shows with him, and you know, he's written a book, The Logical Leap, and he's got a 6-hour lecture series called The Philosophic Corruption of Physics, and you guys can hear it on, you know, the Peace Revolution episode number 62 is the full thing. But he step by step and shows you how quantum physics and this whole idea of you not being able to find truth or discover anything was created, you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then when you put it into place in the Fourth World Wilderness Agenda and Agenda 21 and all of this, you know, battle for the mind stuff, when you put it into that context, you see that, you know, it's not those in power who believe there is no truth. It's what they sell the public, you know. And then you have guys like Swami, who's working out of Esalen Institute, you know, admitting on the Joe Rogan podcast recently that that it's the Matrix, that it's magic, you know, this quantum physics, that it can't be proved or verified, and it's the merger of religion and science. So essentially what he's saying is you can't verify anything I'm saying, which is not science.
Right.
Okay.
Of course.
And, you know, and then he's selling it as science, but admitting that it's, you know, using terms like magic and voodoo and, you know, matrix to explain this so-called science that he admits is not verifiable. You know, so essentially they're just selling magic. They're magicians, and they're tricking millions of people into believing that there is no truth. And then when you see that he's connected to Esalen is really the key center. You know, Michael Murphy, the grand poobah of the whole Fourth World MK Ultra operation now, since everybody else has died off. I mean, he's, as far as I can tell, he's the key guy running everything out there.
And he won't talk to you, right?
Oh, I haven't tried to, but you know, it's just.
Let's get him on the phone. Battery down?
Yeah, this one.
We want to take a break for a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
How about we take a little pause and let the cameras charge for a little bit?
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
think something so small could control you.
And everything you do.
When your life and all you love are on the line. The RFID chip is always with you, threatening your privacy, causing severe risk to your health and personal safety, and killing you if you do not obey rogue government demands.
Because I want to increase my risk of cancer.
Because I want to live in a cash-free society.
Because now the government is looking out for us.
Because I have the mark of the beast, but it doesn't have me.
Ask your doctor how to get your chip implanted today.
Because we want to track your every move.
And we're back from the break.
So let's see, you guys. Why don't we talk about some of your skits?
Oh, cool.
All right, cool.
We love talking about ourselves.
Nah, actually, I know. Let's change the subject.
I'll answer questions.
Okay, Benny will
about
talk about it.
So, what's your favorite skit
that we've done?
Yeah,
I like all of them, but I guess I'm partial to a few. I think. Are you familiar with astrotheology? It might be my favorite, but I also like the Mystic Treasure, our black and white silent film, a lot.
We had that one at a festival in Venice actually the other week. It was cool.
And I love our Oscar propaganda video too.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that might be my favorite.
And
I don't know though.
Yeah, I like a lot. Those are the ones that come to mind.
I
Build a Bird All-Star Awards.
Your recent cop getting pulled over episode.
Oh, right. Police pulled me over going to work. And, you know, it's a standard deal now. Are you drinking? You know, and it's 9 in the morning. You know, where are you going? It's like, come on, man. Give me your fake ticket. Police are going to have to decide which side of the line they're on.
You gotta be kidding me.
As the corruption gets more and more out in the open. And how every time the police pull you over, they're breaking laws.
All right.
Sir, I'm going to need you to roll your window down.
No, it's down.
Sir, I'm going to need you to actually roll your window down.
It's down. It's open. I complied with you.
Okay, I get it. What, you're the youngest son? The troublemaker? Have you had anything to drink, sir? You giving me the silent treatment. Sarge, we got another one. Yeah, the Helen Keller type, yep. Listen, I can make this light more flashy. Look at that. Look what I'm doing. Does that intimidate you, sir? I'm going to make it go real wide. Sir?
Name and personnel number?
My name is Officer Panetta, and my badge number is P1984. Now, are we done with this interrogation of me? Have you had anything to drink? It's a yes or no question.
I decline to answer any questions, officer.
Sir. Have you had anything to drink tonight, sir?
I opt to remain silent.
You just said something, sir, so you're not opting to remain silent. You're just being... Sir? Sarge! Sir, I have a short temper and a long flashlight, and I can... Sarge!
Officer Panetta.
Sarge, I'm gonna lose it!
Am I being detained, Officer Panetta?
You're not? Have you had any... Sarge! Listen.
All right. How's it going
Sarge,
today? Good evening, sir. We're just simply asking everyone, have they had anything to drink tonight? Okay. All right.
Name and personnel number?
I'm Officer Sanchez.
That's with an S.
P1776. Now we're just
Thank you, Officer
we're
Sanchez.
not detaining anybody here. We're not holding up anybody. Okay, we're just simply asking a couple questions, all right?
I decline to answer any questions.
Sir, you're being very hard to deal with. If you were my son, I'd take you in the backyard and I'd smack you. I stopped a pregnant woman this morning. She gave birth to twins in the back seat.
I understand.
She wasn't drinking. That's legal for me to do as a father. Sir, don't close this window. Don't you close this window.
It's open.
I'm
It's still
take
open.
Your allowance away, sir.
It's still open.
Sir,
it's
we
open.
understand you're exercising your rights. Just
Thank you.
Answer for us very quickly. Just, have you been drinking tonight?
Have you been drinking, sir?
I decline to answer any questions, officers.
Have you had anything to drink tonight?
I understand.
Have you had water, soda,
I got
anything?
it. I understand.
Right.
I could easily end this guy. Like I could shoot him,
No,
and I could.
I still got my sniper training, so.
And I think I can get him in those two. I don't have a. You're gonna post that on the YouTube.
Yeah, you got a wiki account.
Listen, am I free to go?
Yeah. No. Well, no.
Am I being detained?
You're not being detained.
If I'm not being detained, officer, am I free to go?
You're free to. You're free to go.
You're free to go. I'm free to go. Thank you so much, officers.
Have a good night, sir.
But you better watch your little back, because I'm coming for you. Hey, so you are free to go.
Come on. All right. It's.
You know I don't know this stuff. It made me look like an idiot out there when you should have been there. What were you doing? You were in the back just playing solitaire? I'm out there looking like an idiot. God,
I had it up to here with these sovereign citizens, these conspiracy theorists.
Those Freemans.
Yeah.
They got these donuts that are actually wrapped in bacon.
Donuts wrapped in bacon?
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah. All
right.
Let's do it.
Okay. But you're driving.
I can't. I'm drunk.
You've been...
Of course, our 19-minute JoyCamp episode that's available online.
That's right.
It's a submission for the Alex Jones Operation Paul Revere Film Contest. And we tackle some issues.
Quite a few.
That would,
So now all the people that are going to call you shills for Alex Jones, what do you want to say?
You're right.
Look, Alex Jones has a huge audience, and a lot of his audience... Just because they listen to Alex Jones doesn't mean that they are completely... They are only following Alex Jones. I mean, we feel like we might be an asset to his platform because he does turn some people away, and we approach it in such a lighthearted manner that we might, maybe him endorsing us will make him look good. Does that sound bad to say that? Such an asshole. But no, seriously, like he's aggressive and we are comedic, and I think that
it might be a good match.
It's a good way to reach a lot of people. I don't know.
Yeah,
we're not
a good middle of the road.
Yeah, good middle of the road. Yeah, exactly.
We're not shills. We're not working for the government.
Yeah,
We're just trying to. We want to be seen, and we want to get we want to wake people up.
Yeah, we think there's a lot of power in the comedy. You know, we do goof around a lot. We do, we joke and stuff, but we really take very seriously the information that we're putting out there.
Oh, yeah, right.
You know, information that we learn from researching your work and many others. And we really want people that are in the other group that aren't in ours, the people that we're preaching to the choir and they're loving it because it's a sense of like relief, right? Like you're like, yes, you can laugh at the system that we're all so bogged down by, but the people over there, they don't know about that stuff. So you're making them laugh from the comedy and hoping that the little seeds of chemtrail this and fluoride that might be planted so that they can go online later and look it up and share it with other people. And we need those people, We might call them sheep and all that stuff, but we really need them to try to change this world that we live in. So we're trying to really touch those people too. And if Alex Jones's audience will expand us and help us get to that point, then fucking hey, of course we're gonna do it. Why would we not? If information is brought to us later down the road, then we'll figure that out. But it was just too good of an opportunity to pass up. He shared a few of our videos before, so we have that respect from him, and we want to give that respect back to him too. So
I've been on Alex Jones' show before, and of course you get the ad hominem attacks from some people for even going on the show, and it's like, of course we're going to go on and talk about it because you reach a million more people than you would have otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
Why wouldn't you use the opportunity? It's like we discussed the trivium when I went on his show, and that's going to help anybody in his audience to be able to filter fallacies out from any information that they're getting.
Yeah, exactly. And we know his audience too is a lot of them are very serious people, so they don't take the joking of this stuff the way that it's intended necessarily. I think they think that we're just poking fun at the situation, and while we're actually really laying out some truth in there. And it might not, to that person, that really serious person, it might not have the same effect. And he's just got to remind himself about how it will affect other people.
It's not geared for the audience that already knows.
Exactly.
It's geared for the audience that doesn't know yet, so that you can use the comedy to get them to think about these things rather than, obviously, for somebody like me, I get it, what you guys are doing. Yeah. And I think it's funny because I've researched these things, but... obviously the idea is to get it into people's minds who otherwise wouldn't think about these things, and rather than calling you a conspiracy theorist, then they just sit there and laugh and giggle about it, and then they're and then you've tricked them into thinking about these things.
Yeah, their barriers down, and they all of a sudden it becomes interesting to them, And if you plant that seed, it's really up to them and where they go from there.
And most importantly, I mean, the video that we submitted deals with issues that we want people to know about or to ask questions about.
Yeah,
we take on drone warfare, the royal family, the RFID chip, and how to deal with obnoxious cops who are abusing the law,
amongst a few other things.
Yeah. So we want to get that equipment. We want to get
Princess
that out there.
syndrome.
Yeah, right. Oil and slave labor.
And
it's all in 19 minutes. You know, we managed to all that into 19 minutes. So it's a good. We had someone post, and I say it all the time, but he wrote, "Finally something I can post on my Facebook and people won't think I'm crazy," from one of our videos.
Right.
And that was really cool. That was really refreshing to see that people out there are getting it, you know.
Right.
So we just want to keep making it bigger and better, and we're going to keep connecting with people like you and really smart people that have their shit together and that are very thorough. They can help us with our research so that we can make sure that we're making people laugh, but we're putting the right stuff out there too.
Exactly. Right.
We want to be we want to be critical thinkers. We want to be smart about how we do this. So
we don't want to lead people astray.
Yeah, and that's a big thing too. It's like you go through research once you start fact checking things, you realize things that you believed for years were complete garbage. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And those people that commented on the thread about us being controlled opposition, you know, like we're both just we live in a 2-bedroom apartment, you know, in Los Angeles. And we do this on our own time and our own time.
Like, come hang out with us. You think we're control opposition?
I know. Yeah, we live double lives, all right? We live in the system. We have to survive.
Oh yeah, I get that kind of stuff too. You know, and it always comes from people who really don't even look at your work. You know, look at what you're trying to do. They're just they see that you're doing something, so you must be bad for doing it, right? Because they're not doing anything, and you have information that they don't, and it contradicts what they believe, so you must be controlled opposition.
Yep.
And it's like, well, why don't you just check the citations?
Man, when we got that comment, that's when I knew we'd made it. That's when I knew we'd really broken through.
When that guy said, "Are you controlled opposition?"
Like, man, our shit's that good.
It was flattering.
Like, he's that good. He thinks that someone else produced it to make it look like it's fake. Like that's
high
praise.
Like, I'll take that.
Someone was clever enough to infiltrate the system that way. Fuck.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
More power to him.
Yeah. Subscribe to that guy's channel.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what is the largest goal with your videos?
You mean like where to take them?
Where to take them, or where you're trying to take your audience?
Well, I feel like YouTube's just the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't really know what is going to happen, but I feel like it's already the momentum we have is snowballing, and it's already morphing. I mean, we just produced a 20-minute episode. I mean, and they've only been around for a year, so who knows? I mean, I don't really have a definitive goal in mind, but I think that the more open we are with it, and the more we just keep rolling with it, it's taking us down the proper road that it feels like, anyway.
Yeah.
I guess, but then a goal is to reach as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And to get people feeling okay. It's a place to let off steam. I mean, we want people to, see the horrifying truth, but also be able to relax, and say, yes, this is information, and you are getting information, and you are becoming a better person as a result. And the less you're afraid, the more empowered you'll be.
And yes, things are scary, and yes, things are sad and terrifying and frustrating and all that, but things can also be funny too. And there has to be laughter in there at some point. Otherwise, we're just going to go fucking crazy.
Right.
You got to have that balance. So right now, we both have felt for a long time that laughter is seriously lacking, particularly in the world in general, but in our world that we're all involved with.
In the so-called truth movement.
In the so-called truth movement,
so serious all the time.
In the fallacy-based truth movement.
Yeah. A lot of disinformation out there you got to be careful of.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it in a nutshell, really. And we're only a year and some odd months in, and we're here talking with you. We've met a lot of people that we've gotten research from. We've gotten to become friends with online or shake their hands in person. So it's brought us to some really great people. We've developed some new friends in Los Angeles as a result of it, and we got some fans that follow us. One of them showed up to our screening of one of our films, which was kind of cool. So it feels like a great start.
Yeah. What do you guys have in the works?
Well, we this last project was so big, it really consumed us for 2.5 months.
Yeah.
So we kind of took a breath after that one was submitted, but we have ideas in mind. I mean, the ones we want to do something about false flags.
Yeah, definitely want to hit false flags.
And crisis actors.
We
really want to tackle crisis actors, since it's been such a big conspiratorial aspect to the last two events.
Another interesting one that I came, the whole concept of crowd psychology.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
mobs of people.
Mobs of people, and just how
have
they
no
control
conscience.
them,
Yep.
You know,
mob mentality.
Mob, yeah.
We want to do Bernays too, some kind
Bernays,
of.
yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Bernays would be
like
really
a Bernays
good.
sauce. Like
yeah.
when you want to
spread it on.
Put some yeah.
Spice it up with Bernays.
Squirt some Bernays on there.
We'll have his face on the thing, you know.
Everybody wants it
Wink
more.
I love Bernays sauce. That stuff is delicious.
But maybe like
I love tarragon.
Put Bernays sauce on a pile of shit and someone buys it. Like they like, oh, it's the Bernays sauce.
Oh, it tastes great.
That's good.
It comes out of a TV.
You know, I was at LACMA yesterday, and there was an art piece there, which was a piece of elephant dung with a chain around it. That was the art piece, and it's in a fucking case. And I thought, man, this is such a joke on me. And it's been there for like 30 years. Like I'm in a museum looking at a piece of shit. I'm literally looking at a piece of shit.
We came across an article
in a box.
We came across an article a week ago or so about we'd seen a video about modern art being totally dumbed down, but this article was talking about the CIA basically funding and promoting the whole modern art scene.
Makes so much sense.
Taking people away from real classical art that's based on the golden ratio and Fibonacci and real talent, and getting people to put a chain on a piece of dung and think it's art,
exactly.
or put a pile of trash in a corner with some paint or something on it and call it art.
How do you think Banksy fits into the mold?
I don't know who that is. Sorry.
Oh, the street artist, the graffiti artist.
Is that the one who did?
He had the film.
Gift
shop.
Yes, of course I've seen that. The one that came up with the
Mr. Brainwash.
Mr. Brainwash.
Well, he's the one that did the Andre the Giant.
No, that's Shepard Fairey.
Shepard Fairey.
Okay.
Obey.
He's another LA guy that does that though.
Okay.
Yeah, but he cashed in on that.
Big time, yeah.
Obey.
There's one right down the street from us. I took a picture of it actually.
They're everywhere.
It's a little girl
and he has
holding
a clothing.
a
You can buy Obey t-shirts at TJ Maxx.
That's true.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So what were you doing at TJ Maxx?
Yeah, well,
I like
shopping for.
That was years ago. I'm in like
shopping for dresses.
My ex-girlfriend took me. That's the honest answer.
To shop for dresses.
Yeah, that was years ago. I was in school still. I was still in school.
Sunday dresses.
We were looking for Sunday dresses.
Yeah, going to church.
We were late for church. We didn't have anything to wear. We wanted to get a Sunday dress. The Sunday dress for me was a little harder to find, but we got it at Ross.
Payless? How's Ross? What's the Ross
Mervin's.
slogan?
We got it from Mervin's. Is Mervin's around? Kmart.
What's that Ross? What's the Ross slogan?
We're off track.
We're gonna have to listen. We're leave all this stuff out, all these corporate names and stuff.
Yeah,
Like, what are they saying? Man, they're really cussing up a storm over there. Where's like Kmart?
We're gonna have to cuss. We're gonna have to cuss over the corporate names.
That's true. Yeah, we could do that.
Oh yeah, voiceover.
My batteries are
Oh, it's getting there.
Yeah, again. Do you want to?
We need some kind of closure, right?
Is it already done?
No, it's not done.
Let's just close it out. Let's wrap it up.
All right. Well, what would you guys say is the single most important aspect of your work that you want people to understand?
That humor is a big key to getting people to pay attention. You get them to laugh, and it breaks down their emotional defenses, their emotional dissonance. We crack open the facade and make them laugh, and then they can handle the information more delicately.
And what about you, Kevin?
Yeah, it's the same, and I also hope that for the people that are in our world, the truth movement, or whatever you want to call it, that this can be like a real sigh of relief that they can laugh at and share amongst each other, and just see that there is some guys out there that are aware and are doing what we're doing with this stuff, and hopefully can cross the boundaries with the other people too, because it seems to me that for so long now we've all been preaching to the choir, and I just feel like we have to reach out and touch those people. There's so much, they're sheep and they're this and they're that. I feel like we need a little bit of forgiveness and to understand that they're products of this system. And this is a little bit longer answer than I wanted for it, but it's really true. I hope that this humor, comedy, can really help bridge that gap that needs to be bridged.
And it's like recess for people who are trying to understand the world on a deeper level. It's like taking a break, taking a little recess, and having fun with JoyCamp.
Exactly. And also, I just have such a good time doing it in my life. I really look forward to doing it all the time. So,
It was great having you guys on.
A pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having us.
And that concludes episode 165.
The most informative podcast on Gnostic media
The
yet.
most serious podcast on the internet right now.
Yeah. I'm thinking of
until this episode.
Bum, 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 bum.
All right, guys.
All right, Jan. Thank you.
Yep.
And that's a wrap. And wrap. And cut it. Be in the trailer. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right.
Tea break.
To the pisser.
Listen to this. This time of great awakening that is the decades leading to and beyond December 21st, 2012.
Yes.
Is all about love.
Oh, love is
yes.
all it's
love.
about.
Love is everything.
Yes. 2012, it's so close.
Yes.
I cannot wait to ascend.
Is that incense?
Yes.
Sage.
December 21st, 2012.
Oh, yes,
It's so close.
It is.
2012 is a lie. You're not going to ascend. The world's not going to end. It's a big myth. It's just going to come and go like any other day.
Love is what we are. Love is what we feel. Love is what we are destined to be.
You know, the New Age movement was started by the CIA. It encourages uncritical positive thinking as a way to solve all the world's problems. You can't just embrace love and emit love and expect things to change. It doesn't work that way.
I'm very spiritual. I find that I'm a very spiritual person.
Can you talk to spirits? Can you see, hear, or communicate with spirits? Because that's actually the definition of spiritual. If you can't communicate with a spirit, then you are not, by definition, spiritual.
It's more powerful when we do it together.
It's Om. It's Om. You don't say hum. It's Om.
Om.
Om. Om. Om. Om. Om.
Om.
Just like an ancient.
Om.
Is he telling the truth or is he telling a lie? He's the conspiracy guy.